woman here, which, I mean, listen, say what you will, but man, I don't even know where to begin with something like this. And I do say that often because quite often I found myself, quite frankly, gobsmacked and just often confused. I wonder if a lot of these cases or just some of the things these people say are just in an effort to go viral, which, I mean, if that's the case, then, we could just go ahead and disregard at least 95% of what's on the internet. And I think that's the case, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if a majority of people thought this way. And listen, I'm not making no innuendos, right? Don't get no ideas. That's not what I'm doing. It's not what I'm doing at all. But what I'm saying is, and all I'm saying is, this don't make no sense. Listen, this woman says, cheat on that man. Cheat on your man, and he'll love you better. Fellas, I gotta ask before I play this video, is she correct? Is she correct? Anyway, let me take my head out the way, and let's get into it.
If you cheat on your dude, right, and he takes you back, y'all are locked in. Y'all are locked in for life. He will never leave you. That's a fact. And even sometimes, I might even go as far to say that you might have to cheat on him for him to really lock in. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm not saying I do it. I'm just saying what I've noticed, my observations and shit like that.
Now, fellas, you heard her.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
I mean, shit, both these sounds are applicable. I didn't even mean to hit the other one, but yo, I mean, honestly. Huh? What? I need to know who came up with this concept. I need to know who came up with this concept because I know this big head goofy ass did not come up with this on her own. And I'm only throwing these ad hominems. Because, quite frankly, first of all, there is no rebuttal, right? It's not like she's gonna fucking answer me back. And if she did, that'd be fucking hilarious. In fact, I'd have her on live. In fact, if she gets back to me, I will do a live interview. On this perspective. I mean, are y'all gonna watch? Probably not. But for the most part, basically what I'm trying to get at here is this is not only is this dumb, this is also a slap in the face to, I would say, millions of guys out here who are actually trying to do the right thing and not cheat on their woman. Listen, ladies, whether you agree or not, I'm gonna be real with you here. Maybe for like 55% of men, it's hard for them to cheat, right? Like, I've heard these stories where guys are in relationships and, they try to cheat on their woman by sliding into the DMs of other women and, they don't bag, which is which is fucking hilarious because personally me, I think if you're going to go out of your way to go ahead and at least try to approach a woman virtually, and you DM them, knowing damn well you have photos of your woman on your Instagram, my friend, you're an idiot. Why would you try that? Why would you try it? Listen, if you're really gonna do it, and I'm not saying this as though I do it, right? But I'm just saying if you're really gonna do it, the smartest way to go about this is to not have your woman on your Instagram. I don't post my shit, my personal shit, on my Instagram anyway, just to, avoid people. Because personally, I'm not a famous content creator, but, I be doing shit here and there. I be working for brands here and there, and I'll be damned if someone were to see me on a brand UGC piece of content or some modeling content and someone were to then approach me in the streets knowing my personal business. I'm not trying to get into that. So therefore, I don't post my business. But I would say, listen, if you're going to be the kind of guy who wants to go out there and try to get some play while you're in a relationship, the last thing you should be doing is making your relationship known. But let's be real. Let's honestly talk about this, guys. Do you think cheating would help your relationship? Now, believe it or not, there are some guys out there that do have that perspective. Obviously, from the men's perspective, the whole high value trope of like, oh, high value men should be able to cheat on their women simply because, they're high fucking value. And when I was 16, I would agree with that statement. But as a grown ass man now, I would also disagree with that statement. And I only say that for a couple of reasons. First of all, yes, it is hard being in a relationship and having that lust, that urge, right? That quote unquote itch. But that only comes down to, or that only becomes significant if you're the type of person who has no fucking discipline. And let's be real about it, guys. The time consumption, or the amount of time, that's a better way to put it, the amount of time it takes to even approach other women, get the Instagram, maybe you don't go on a date, she just comes over, whatever the case may be, that still takes some time. Listen, I'm no Casanova, but back in my single days, I could order that shit like it was on Seamless. Let me give myself the fucking buzzer, because what am I saying? But the point of what I'm trying to say here is this. I don't think men or women should be able to cheat in their relationships just because they think it's going to make the relationship better. That's not how this fucking works. A relationship is literally a job. That shit is a job, you know? I used to argue at the fact of, like, you know, women wanting compensation for getting paid to be moms and shit. And listen, call me a simp all you want in the comments, but I kind of agree. Bro, parenthood is expensive. And also mentally taxing. Obviously on the father as well. But to be the person who's going to be wiping a baby's ass all day, feeding this motherfucker, playing with this motherfucker, putting him to sleep, waking him up, walking him. I mean, not like it's an animal, but you know what I mean? And obviously someone could say, like, oh, that's your child. Obviously, motherfucker, I know it's our child, right? In theory, in this example here. But what I'm trying to get at is, yo, at the end of the day, that shit is, it's work. Relationships are fucking work. Parenthood is work. All of that is work. And cheating is not the kind of work that's going to make it better. You want to make it better? Communicate. And I mean, like, truthful communication, not just this bullshit of, like, you know, you're being very superficial with how you feel. Particularly my dudes. A lot of guys out here don't want to tell their women how they feel. And I'm not saying you got to be, you know, crying your eyes out, you know, weeping on her lap and shit, on some, you know, crying ass, oh, help me, woe is me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying be apathetic. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But what I am saying is you have to be transparent to a degree with the person that you're constantly sleeping with. Does that not make sense? I mean, come on. You have to be. Cheating is not going to help it. And I keep going back to cheating just so y'all know I'm not, you know, falling off course here. But all of these things coincide with one another. You know, cheating would bring on the lack of communication, or communication, the lack of it, would bring on cheating, vice versa. However you want to put it, regardless, that shit ain't the answer. And I'm not saying I'm, like, you know, self-righteous or holier than thou. You know, I do be seeing some cheeks out in public, and, you know, I don't have to be fucking descriptive about it, but, you know, I be seeing some shit out in public, and I'm like, damn. mentally, I'm not turning around and I'm like, damn, you know, that's not what I'm doing. But that's the reality of it, because I'm a fucking human. You know, I'm a human, and, you know, your boy be out here, maybe sometimes he want to fight, maybe sometimes he doesn't, I don't know. But listen, that's not the point of what I'm trying to get at again. The goal, or just the point of what I'm saying here, is cheating ain't the option. And when push comes to shove, if you ever do find yourself in that situation, then you really need to reconsider and reevaluate, because, you know, at the end of the day, once again, the idea that you're just going to be this cheater is, I don't know, that shit just don't make any sense to me.